See you in the morning, Art.
I think I'll turn in, too. Good night, Matt.
Good night. Most of the time, Cimarron City is a nice, peaceful town. A good place to settle in and raise a family. The folks who live here are a decent lot. But sometimes even the best goes sour. And those are the times I wish I hadn't let them talk me into taking on the job of being their mayor. Even though Art Sampson, our new sheriff, does his level best to make things easier for me.
Well, good morning, Mr. Mayor.
None of that mayor stuff, Sheriff Sampson, or I'll take that badge away from you.
Oh, isn't that a fine place for the mayor to be conducting his business? You're supposed to sit over here.
You sit there. I don't feel too comfortable back there.
Maybe we should have it mounted with a stock saddle.
Yeah, that'd be one way to make a rancher feel at home in a city office. You look good back there. Maybe you'd like the job, huh?
Oh, no, you don't. I've got enough trouble keeping up with the robberies around town. Had another one last night.
Oh?
Yeah, down at the laundry. They got about $20. That's the way they've all been. Just a few dollars here and there.
And still no idea who it is, huh?
Oh, I've got an idea who it is, all right.
Are you trying to tell me it's somebody I should know?
I'm afraid so, Matt.
Who?
There's your answer. Right outside the window.
Jess Conway? I hope you're wrong, Art.
So do I. How do you account for him always having enough money to buy a drink? Well, he hasn't held a job for more than a week at a time since his wife died and he left your place. He hasn't even worked in the last couple of months.
I'm afraid I can't account for it.
Well, maybe I'd better have a little talk with Jess.
Art, could you hold off saying anything to him till after I've talked to him?
Sure, Matt. I don't have enough on him to make a charge yet anyway. Want me to ask him to come in now?
Yeah, would you please?
Let me know what happens.
Sure.
Morning, Jess.
Fine morning, Art.
Matt would like to see you for a minute.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I was just waiting to see him. Morning, Matt. Morning, Jess. Have a seat. How's everything going?
Oh, fine. It's fine, Matt. I'm sorry about the money you loaned me. I know it's been months, but I
wasn't going to press you for it, Jess. How are you fixed now?
Oh, I got a few dollars.
Where'd you get it?
Huh?
You haven't worked for quite a while, Jess. Where'd you get the money?
What are you getting at, Matt?
Saw your boys the other day. Out hunting.
Yeah, Joey's getting to be a regular crack shot.
Yeah, bag of the jackrabbit with the first shot. Said he was taking it home. Taking it home for supper. Jess, nobody eats a tough old jackrabbit like he had unless they had to.
Things have been kind of tough lately, Matt, you know.
I thought you said you had a few dollars.
Well, the truth is, I've been standing outside there for quite some time. I was coming in to see anyway. I know I shouldn't come back to you again, but could you possibly see your way clear to increase that loan, Matt? A little?
Then you were lying about having that money, huh?
Yeah. Yes, I was. I'll pay you back, Matt, if you just give me time. It's Joey and Chris's tuition money for the subscription school. You remember how Marie was about the kids in school? She wouldn't let them miss a day.
Yes, I remember.
Well, that's all I'm trying to do, Matt, is just take care of my boys the way Marie would have wanted me to. You're the only friend I got. The only one I can look to.
Have you tried to look to yourself, Jess? Have you looked at yourself lately? I know what a blow it was to you when Marie died. But don't you think it's about time you got hold of yourself? You say you're only thinking about Chris and Joey. Is that why you spend every nickel you get on liquor?
Where'd you hear that?
You can't hide a thing like that, Jess. It's a small town. Only one saloon.
It's the only way I can forget. You think it's easy to always have to remember that I was driving the buggy when she was killed?
It wasn't your fault that that wheel came off.
Why did you have to put it into words?
Because the sooner you look at what happened squarely, the sooner you're going to stop blaming yourself. Now, your sons don't hold you responsible for it. But you're sure not doing anything to help them forget.
You're hitting below the belt, Matt. I thought you were my friend.
I am your friend, Jess. That's why I'm talking to you like this. Look, I miss you at the ranch. You're still the best foreman I ever had. Your boys, they brighten things up around there like nobody else can. Your job is still waiting for you. Now, why don't you come back?
Every day I'd have to see the place that happened. Marie died there, Matt. I'm never going to set foot on your place again.
About that loan you asked for, Jess, I'm afraid if you turn down the job, I can't let you have it.
Yeah, well, just forget I asked you for one.
Jess, go over to the store and get whatever you need. I'll guarantee the credit.
I don't need your charity either.
It's not charity, it's a loan. It's food and clothes for the boys. But remember, not 1 cent of cash.
Oh. Now you're going to treat me like an irresponsible little boy.
Yes, if that's the way you're going to act. Look, why don't you stop feeling sorry for yourself? Sure, Marie is gone, but you're still alive and so are the boys. Why don't you start thinking of them? Why don't you be a man?
Who do you think you're talking to? You think just because you're mayor of this town it gives you the right to drag me in here and make me a lot of fancy speeches?
I didn't want to see you for that.
Oh, there's more. Well, forgive me for interrupting. Go right ahead, Mayor Rockford. Tell me what it was you wanted to see me about. And don't beat around the bush. Come right out with it. Be a man, Mr. Mayor.
All right, Jess. I wanted to find out if you had anything to do with the robberies that have been going on around town lately.
Well, why don't you just ask me then?
Have you?
There's your answer, Mr. Mayor. Now, you just keep out of my business. You take care of your big ranch and your big office and leave me and my 2 boys alone.
You find out, Matt?
Well, I found out I could botch up a job of trying to help a friend just about as well as anybody I know.
Sure looks awful mad.
I guess he has a right to be.
Think he's doing these robberies?
I hate to say it, Art, but I think he's covering up a guilty conscience with anger. I still hope we're wrong.
So do I.
Hey, Sheriff. Has town got a boarding house?
Figured on staying long?
Maybe. Depends on your brand of hospitality.
Where you from?
What's the difference? As long as we don't give you any trouble.
No difference, as long as you keep it that way. Boarding house, the end of the street. It's a respectable one.
That's the best kind.
Just keep coming, don't they?
Yeah, as long as we're a territory, not a state, there isn't a better place in the country for a man on the run to hide.
They're running all right. I know the type.
Wait a second, Frank. I'm not finished with that.
Don't you think you've had enough, Jess?
Franklin, no.
Truth is, Jess, I can't advance you any more credit.
Credit. I got money. There, $20. That enough? Give me the bottle.
$20 is enough to cover part of your back bill, but that's all.
In that case, I'll hang on to it for a little while. As a matter of fact, I'm even stretched a little. You fellas interested in a little fresh money?
Oh, always interested. Step right up.
The dice are yours.
How about $20 to begin with?
I get part of it.
You're faded.
Hi, Uncle
Hi, Joey. How are you?
Hi, just fine, sir.
Hi, Chris. Hi, you old-timer. How you getting along in school?
He doesn't like arithmetic.
Oh, golly, Uncle Matt. Why do I have to learn about old numbers and things? I'm just going to be a rancher like you.
Well, now, just how do you figure on counting your cows and horses, huh?
Couldn't I get someone to do that for me?
Yeah, maybe. But about the time you'd want him, he probably wouldn't be around. Then what would you do?
Well, I'd figure out some way to get around it.
He probably would, too.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
Come on, we gotta get home.
Bye, Uncle Matt.
Goodbye.
Now show them what we do to Welchers. Hey, huh?
All right, hold it. Hold it, you hear me?
I didn't figure you three could stay out of trouble very long. Now, what's going on here?
Anybody Welchers on me at a crap table finds out I don't like it, no matter what town I'm in.
What happened, Frank?
Well, it's like they said. He got in over his head and couldn't pay up. They knew he was an easy mark when they let him into the game. How much?
$50, even.
There's your money. That's the extent of our hospitality.
It's all right, we were leaving tomorrow anyway.
Maybe you didn't understand the mayor. We don't like your kind of trouble around here, so take it someplace else. Now, the next time you pass through, watch your step. Maybe our hospitality will hold out a little longer.
I'm sorry you boys had to see that. I can't tell you how sorry.
That's all right, Dad. I'm glad we got here in time to help.
I hid them with my books, Dad.
I know you did. I saw you. Thanks. Now, you go on down the street. I gotta talk to Matt a minute.
Oh, we can wait.
Start on. I'll catch up with you. Matt.
Feel better?
Yeah, I'm all right. I suppose I should thank you for those crumbs you threw me, paying that money to the men. Just add that 50 to what I already owe you. You'll get it all back.
Matt, Frank was just telling me. Jess went into that game with $20 on him.
Same amount that was taken from the laundry last night.
Still no proof. Well, tomorrow's soon enough to question him. After the roughing he took, he won't be leaving his bed tonight.
I never would have believed it.
What?
Under that badge, you got a heart.
Tell you what, Matt. Right now, I will trade jobs with you. You wear this badge, and all you gotta do is explain to those two little kids that you arrested their dad because he turned into a common thief.
Chris, that's you? Chris? Now, what are you doing over here?
Dad's gone.
What's wrong with that? He's a grown-up.
Bet he went to get even with those men that beat up on him today. And there's 3 of them.
Listen, don't you worry about that. Dad can take care of himself. Now, come on back over here in your own bed. Let's get some sleep. It'll be time to get up for you, know it?
Joey,
Oh, come on now, Chris. Go back to sleep.
why were those men after Daddy today?
Oh, I don't know. Some people just like to fight, I guess.
Joey, why does Dad go in that place all the time?
What makes you think he does?
I see him in there. Almost every day. When I come home from school, I look. Why doesn't he stay home with us like he used to at nights?
Mostly he's out trying to find a job, I guess.
In the saloon?
What's bothering you anyway?
Well, why doesn't Dad be more like he used to when we lived on Uncle Matt's ranch? And I don't see why we didn't stay there either.
Well, it's kind of hard to explain to a kid.
Do you know why?
Sure. Well, I think I do.
I don't think Dad likes us anymore.
Don't be silly. Dad does like us. He loves us.
Yeah, I guess so. But sometimes he's kind of grouchy.
You gotta try and understand, Chris.
Understand what?
Well, about Dad and why he's sort of different now. You see, it's mostly because of Mom. And Dad won't go back to the ranch because it reminds him of her. I heard him say that once. Understand?
Yeah, I guess so. Is that why he looks mad sometimes?
Well, he's sort of mad at himself, I think. Not at us. And I guess that's because he was driving the buggy when Mom was thrown out.
I don't see why he's mad at himself. He didn't do it on purpose.
Of course he didn't. But, well, it was like you were once, Chris. That time you accidentally broke Mom's favorite china bowl, and you were afraid to tell. But everybody knew something was wrong because of the way you acted. You remember how grouchy you were? But when you finally told Mom, you cried and got real mad at yourself because you were so clumsy. You even hit yourself in the face, you were so mad. But Mom didn't care. She understood it was an accident. And pretty soon everything was all right again. That's kind of what we have to do with Dad. See, understand how much he misses Mom. And try not to get mad at him or anything. And maybe pretty soon everything will be all right again with him. Well, like it was with you.
You sure are smart, Joey.
Oh, go to sleep.
Afraid it might be you.
Matt, don't tell Chris and Joey about this. Promise not to tell him. Ever.
I'll do what I can.
I don't think you have any legal problems, Matt. Nobody here doubts that it was an accident.
I still need a lawyer, Will. I want you to make me Joey and Chris's legal guardian.
You? You're a bachelor. What are you going to do with a couple of kids?
I'm going to give them a home and raise them on the ranch.
Well, I think I know how you feel, Matt, and why you want to do this. But there are plenty of families around who'd be willing to look after Joey and Chris. They're good boys.
Look, I want them. I want to provide for them. I want to raise them. Just make it legal.
Have you given any thought to how they might feel about it?
They've always loved the ranch. Chris was even born there. I think they like me, too.
Well, they're very fond of you, Matt. Everybody knows that. But I think what Will means is, how are they going to feel when they find out that, well, we know it wasn't your fault, but...
You mean when they find out that I'd killed their father?
Oh, it amounts to about that.
I agree with you, Cal. That's why I've asked you gentlemen over here. I want your word that nobody outside of this room will ever know I did it.
Matt, are you serious?
Dead serious. Now, I can't carry this off alone. I'm going to need your help.
Well, I don't know how we can keep a thing like that from getting out.
One way, Cal, is for you to keep the facts out of the Sentinel. Another art is to officially announce that Jess was killed by some unknown outlaws. Now, we're not living in a state where there's a county coroner to hold inquest. No one will have to stand trial. No one will have to lie on the witness stand. Isn't that right?
Yes. Legally, we aren't required to hold a formal hearing unless we pass such a law ourselves.
There you are, Cal. That answers your question. Now, I want this pretty badly. I wouldn't ask such a thing if I didn't think it was all right. I want to provide for those boys. But you know as well as I do, Joey wouldn't stand for it if he knew. Now, you tell those kids I killed their father, and you'd be denying them all that I can and will do for them.
Well, there's no doubt that you could take good care of them, Matt. But you could always help them out, even if they didn't live with you. They wouldn't have to know who was doing it.
That's not the point, Cal. I killed their father, and I should take his place.
Matt, you're feeling the obligation too serious. Any way you look at it, Jess killed himself. Because he was trying to rob you. And it was his own gun that did it after he tried to kill you with it.
All right. Suppose we tell them the truth. Which one of you wants to tell them why it happened? Which one of you wants to destroy for all time what those boys felt about their father? The wagon is outside. Get into it, drive it out there, and wake them up and tell them their father was killed because he was trying to rob their Uncle Matt. That's what you're going to have to tell them. Now, which one of you is going to do it? When Chris turned to me for comfort, I knew I had made the right decision. There was another reason, too, that I was grateful I decided to do it this way. I knew that the deep, smoldering resentment in Joey's eyes was meant for the one who had caused the death of his father. But it wasn't until 2 weeks after the boys were happily settled at my place that I discovered what was really on Joey's mind. Hey, that's pretty good.
Hi, Uncle Matt.
Hi, Joey. How long you been doing that?
It's the first time.
Oh?
With bullets, I mean. I saved up my allowance and bought a box yesterday. Before that, I just practiced with an empty gun.
Yeah, it's got a nice balance.
It was Dad's. It's the one I'm going to use on the man who killed him.
I think you're serious, Joey.
Why shouldn't I be?
That's a job for a man. A man like Art Sampson.
And I'm just a kid, is that it?
No, that has nothing to do with it. I just think you should leave it up to a law officer, that's all.
I made myself a promise the night Dad was shot. I'm not gonna leave this up to anybody. I'm gonna keep that promise if it's the last thing I ever do.
Did you ever consider that it might be just that? The last thing you ever do? What if you find this fellow you're looking for?
I'm gonna practice every day until my hand won't lift this gun one more time. When I find him, I'll be ready. I'll be faster than he is.
Will you be that fast, Joey?
I didn't know you were that good.
The man you meet might just be better.
How long would it take me to learn?
It took me 5 years, Joey. Can you wait that long?
I'll wait as long as it takes you to teach me.
Forget it.
Why not?
I said forget it. I'm not going to teach you something that's just going to get you killed.
Well, it never got you killed, did it?
I never advertised it, Joey. And I never went out looking for a gunfight. You've only got to find a faster gun than yours once. And that can happen 2 ways. Either you go out looking for it, or you build a reputation and it comes looking for you. Either way, you've got to lose. Once you start using a gun instead of your head.
I gotta keep my promise.
You can forget that, too.
No, I won't! Look, somebody killed my dad, and I'm never gonna forget it.
Look, Joey, I'm your guardian. That means that I'm responsible for you. I'm not going to help you become a gunslinger at 16, so that you could get yourself killed before you even have a chance to live.
All right. Forget I asked you. I'll teach myself. And if I find him tomorrow, I'll meet him. And nobody's gonna stop me.
I tell you, he is, Ethel. Matt Rockford is teaching that boy to be a gunman.
It does look that way, doesn't it, Alice?
Oh, just look. Oh, I just think it's a shame you couldn't have taken those boys to live with you, Ethel.
Sam and I spoke to Art Sampson about it, but Mr. Rockford had already made arrangements.
No, they would have been so much better off with you. What does an unmarried man know about raising children anyway? Ever since they lost their mother, they've been raised by men. Just Conway, who couldn't hold a job for his drinking, and Matt Rockford, who was a nice enough man, all right, but I don't know what he's thinking of. Actually teaching that youngster such a thing as this. A woman's touch. That's what those boys need. Without a mother to guide them, they're certain to turn into ruffians. And I think it's our duty to exert our influence and do everything we can to get those boys away from Mr. Rockman into a nice home like Ethel Garner's.
Don't you think you're exaggerating the evil influence of Matt Rockford? I happen to know that he's one of the nicest men in Cimarron City. He loves those boys, and he would do nothing to harm them.
I saw what I saw, Beth, and so did Ethel. Now, what can you say to that?
I say we should mind our own business. Excuse me. Oh, Alice, would you like another piece of cake?
Oh, my goodness. I've been so busy talking, I haven't eaten this one yet.
That's the idea.
Well, Joey, even if I could get any official information on those men, I don't believe I could give it to you, unless you were working for the law.
And kids can't wear badges, can they?
No, I'm afraid not.
You think they did it, Mr. Sampson?
Well, now, that'd be a little hard to say.
They were the only strangers in town that day, weren't they?
Yes, all that I know of.
Dad had trouble with them.
Yes.
That'd give him reason.
Oh, it could.
I think they're the ones that did it, Mr. Sampson. I'm sure of it.
Joey, you'll never catch these men. Why don't you leave it up to the law?
I wish I could, Mr. Sampson. But I can't. Goodbye, sir.
Hello, Joey.
Hi. Can I come in and talk to you a minute, Miss Beth?
Why, certainly. Please come in. Excuse me.
You having a party in there?
A hen party. What did you want to see me about, Joey?
Oh, yeah. Do you keep the names of everybody that stays here?
A register, you mean? Yes, I do.
I wonder if I could look at it.
Well, if you give me the date, I can find the name for you.
It was April the 18th.
April the 18th. April. 18th. Here we are. Well, there were only 3 names that day. Well, those are the 3
That's right, Miss Beth. Those are the men that beat up my dad.
Well, what do you want to know the names for, Joey?
Because I think they're the ones that killed him. And it'll make it a lot easier for me to find them. May I look at it, please?
Well, yes. Won't do much good, I'm afraid.
Why not?
Well, look. William Smith, Bill Smith, Willie Smith. I heard one of the men call one of them Les.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, thanks anyway, Miss Beth.
Joey. Joey, does Mr. Rockford know about this?
Yes, ma'am, he knows. Goodbye, Miss Beth.
Although Art Sampson told me immediately of his conversation with Joey, I never mentioned it to him. In fact, neither one of us had ever again mentioned his gun practice. He didn't seem to hold against me the fact that I had refused to help him, and I was hoping that his desire for vengeance would wear off before he felt ready to prove his skill, and that he could be just a normal boy growing into manhood. But Beth Purcell didn't see it that way.
When Alice Purdy first mentioned it, I told her we should mind our own business.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But when I found out what Joey was up to, and that you knew about it, I felt that I had to come and talk to you.
Well, you can tell that sewing circle to mind their own business. The boys are going to be just fine right where they are.
Don't underestimate those women, Matt. They can exert a very strong influence over their husbands, and from there it could get out of hand. Alice is already talking about circulating a petition demanding that you give up the boys.
What?
If she gets enough people behind her, you won't be able to ignore them, Matt. She's insisting that Chris and Joey have a mother. She thinks they'll become ruffians in the hands of an unmarried man.
Pampering by a woman isn't going to change Joey's mind about anything.
Doesn't hurt a boy to have a mother. We've all had one at one time or another.
At his age, he needs the guidance of a man.
Do you think teaching him to be a gunslinger is guidance?
I wasn't teaching him.
Alice said she saw you.
Well, Alice is wrong. And that whole sewing circle is wrong if they think they're going to have anything to say about those boys. Now, just which side are you on?
Well, you don't have to get angry with me.
Well, then why were you interfering?
I came here as a friend.
Yes, a fine friend.
Listen, Matt. I came here to warn you. But judging from your disposition, I think the boys do need a woman's influence.
Well, thanks for letting me know just whose side you're
Don't
on.
mention it!
Beth. Beth. I'm sorry.
What's wrong, Matt? I've never seen you act like this before. What's the matter?
Nothing, Beth.
Matt, you and I have been friends for a long time. Is it really so bad that you can't tell me about it? Maybe I could help.
Maybe you could at that. One thing I don't need right now is Alice Purdy and that petition of hers.
Why are the boys so important to you?
I should have known better than to try to hold something from you. I'm going to tell you the truth, Beth. It's more than I've admitted to anybody else. I love those boys, and don't make any mistake about that. But the reason I took them and the reason I've got to keep them is because they're my conscience.
Your conscience?
Yes. As long as they're with me and I'm taking care of them, I'm not bothered so much by the mistake I made. Beth, I hit a man when he was down. I thought I was helping him by making him take a look at himself, but it was too soon. He wasn't ready for it. And he came back at me by trying to rob me. I caught him. He died by his own gun. But I helped drive him to his death.
Jess Conway?
Yes. Joey doesn't know that I'm the man he's looking for. And I can't tell him.
Of course you can't.
I'm not going to give them up, Beth. That may be selfish of me, but that's the way it's got to be. No matter what Alice Purdy says or does.
Don't worry about her. I'll just bake several cakes.
Huh?
It's a new weapon for keeping her quiet.
hospitality himself.
Not this time, boys. I want you to keep right on riding.
What for? We're not looking for any trouble.
Maybe not, but around here, I think it'll find you without your looking for it.
We're just on our way back to Tulsa. We're tired. We need some chow, a place to sleep. You got no call to turn us out?
Well, that's the way it's going to be. Or maybe you'd rather have me send a telegram to the marshal's office in Washington, see if there's anything he wants me to hold you for in particular.
Holding us may not be so easy for one man.
I got all the help I want if I need it. A whole town full.
Nah, let's get out of this crummy place. Tulsa ain't so touchy.
Joey! Joey! Matt, we've got trouble. Those 3 men that Joey thinks he's after came into town. I got rid of them all right, but not before Joey saw them. I think he overheard them say they were going on to Tulsa. Anyway, he lit out for the ranch as fast as that horse could go. I don't know what he went to get.
Maybe I can catch up with him.
I don't know.
Which one of you killed Jess Conway?
Well, if it ain't the scrapper himself. Well, you look at what he's packing on his hip now. I guess he graduated from the school books. What you doing out here, Sonny? Lost?
I'm looking for the one who killed my dad.
Oh, no fooling. He finally got it, huh? Well, I'm not surprised.
One of you did it. Which one?
Now I know why the gun. I guess it'd be kind of silly going after a killer with a bundle of school books. You made a mistake, Sonny. I don't know nothing about your old man. Nobody takes a shot at me unless he finishes what he started. Not even a schoolboy.
Well, get him! I'm only gonna warn you once. I'm only after the one who did it. If he's too much of a coward to say so, then I'll get all 3 of you. Who did it? Which one of you?
None of them did it, Joey.
Uncle Matt, don't try to stop me.
The boy made a mistake. You can all forget it.
I didn't make a mistake. Joe, one of you or both of you.
Joey, will you stop it?
Joe!
They didn't kill your father.
Cowards, Joe!
I did. All right, get rid of it.
Do what he says. Not our fight.
Let's get that arm taken care of.
Did you mean what you said? That you killed Dad?
I'm afraid it's true, Joey. But there's more to it than that. Come on, we better talk about it.
Get your hands off of me! And there's nothing to talk about.
I think there is, Joey.
Give me my gun.
It'll be better this way until you have a chance to cool off.
Don't think this makes any difference in what I aim to do, just because it was you who did it.
Joey.
The scratch on the arm isn't going to slow me down.
Joey, use your head.
No wonder you didn't want to teach me anything.
Look, I've got to explain something to you.
You can do all the explaining you want to do. Tomorrow after 11 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be in front of your office and my gun's going to be loaded.
Joey!
If we could just find Joey, maybe we could talk some sense into him.
You'll never find him until he wants to be seen. At 11 o'clock.
Oh, I could put him into protective custody the minute he rides into town.
In the jail? No, Art. That's all he'd need to think that the whole world was against him. And the way he can handle that gun, it wouldn't be long before he was really outside the law.
Then what do you suggest?
I'll have to meet him at 11 o'clock.
Chris!
Joey! Where you been, Joey?
I'll tell you later. Is anybody around?
Uncle Matt went to town.
All right, now listen. I want you to get some clothes together and saddle your pony and come with me.
Where are we going?
To my camp where I stayed last night. I might have to leave you there for a little while, but when I come back, we're riding out of here for good.
Going to leave here? Why?
Never mind why, we're just not living here anymore.
Did you ask Uncle Matt?
Uncle Matt's got nothing to say about it, nor about you and me from now on. Now hurry up, get your things.
But I don't want to go anyplace.
Chris, don't argue, we got to.
No, I like it here. And I don't want to leave Uncle Matt. And I don't see why you do either. He's your Uncle Matt, same as mine.
He's not. Nothing to me, I hate him. Will you please hurry?
No, I won't. And you can't make me.
All right, then stay here. You'll be sorry you did.
Joey, don't go.
There isn't any choice, Beth. Joey will never be happy living with me now that he knows, and neither will Chris when he finds out.
Ethel Garner will be here pretty soon now, Matt. She'll be good for the boys. I'm sure of that. And I know that when Joey thinks about this, he won't show up today.
I hope you're right, Beth, but I'm afraid you're not.
Uncle Matt, Joey's gonna run away. And he wanted me to go with him, but I didn't want to go.
Now, just take it easy, old-timer. Let's start from the beginning. Where did you see Joey?
At home. And he said he hated you, too. But why did he say that?
Is he already gone? Run away, I mean.
I don't think so. He said he wanted me to stay at his camp while he went and did something. Then he was going to run away.
That means he is coming.
I don't want Joey to run away, Uncle Matt. Can't you make him stay?
I'll do my best, Chris.
Can I be of any help?
Oh, Chris, you remember Mrs. Garner, don't you?
We're old friends, aren't we, Chris?
She used to bring cookies and things to our house.
Now, Chris, I want you to go with Mrs. Garner while I try to find Joey. All right?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Beth, remember...
Matt, Joey's coming in, and fast.
Beth, get Chris and Ethel out of here, quick.
Matt, be careful.
All right, remember no interfering, no matter what happens.
All right, Matt. But you remember you're dealing with a trigger-happy kid.
Yeah.
I'm ready any time you are.
I think we'd better talk, Joey.
I didn't come here to talk.
Sorry, Joey. I don't fight kids.
Put your gun back on, I'll show you how much kid I am. At least I'm not afraid to fight. I'm not a coward like you.
That'll be about enough of that kind of talk.
I don't think so.
Listen, Joey. I'm still your guardian. And you'd better listen to me.
Will you stop treating me like a kid? I'm old enough to use this gun. And that makes me old enough to take care of the one who killed my dad. You hear that? There's a man who did it. He killed my dad and then he lied about it. And then he took me and Chris in. And that was supposed to make everything all right. Because we were just kids and we wouldn't know what to do about it anyway. Well, I know what to do about it. I'm going to kill him. That is if he's not too much coward to pick that gun up and fight.
Joey, you just made me realize I have been thinking of you as a kid. I was protecting you because I didn't think you were old enough to hear the truth, but I was wrong. I guess if you're man enough to use a gun, you're man enough to hear the real story about your father. I wasn't going to tell you the whole story just a minute ago. I was going to soften it for you, but not now. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to find out just how much of a man you really are. If you can't take what you'll be hearing, just go ahead and make your play. Your father was killed because he fell on his own gun. He fell because I'd pushed a desk over on him. The same desk that he had just broken into and robbed. My desk. In my house, Joey. This wasn't his first robbery. Your father died because he'd become a thief. You're a liar! Joey, boy. Joey, you're all right now.
I'm sorry.
You backed down, Joey, but it took a lot better man to do that than it would take to shoot.
You didn't even make a draw for your gun. I could have killed you.
I was counting on you using your head.
Thanks. I'm sorry, Uncle Matt. I think I knew about Dad all the time. But as long as I was gunning for his killer, I didn't have to admit it.
It's all right. It's all right, Joey. He had his reasons. And to him, I guess they were good ones. Don't be too hard on him.
I'm not. I still think he was a swell guy.
Sure. Ethel Garner and her husband Sam were going to have two fine boys to raise in Chris and Joey Conway. However, it wasn't going to be long before Joey would grow away from them. He proved that today. But when it happens, and the Garners lose a boy, Cimarron City is going to gain a darn good man.